I'm John Law, this is Chasing Cars, and I'm getting a little bit sick of the dual cab ute. Australia seems to be obsessed with them. They're the best-selling cars month in and month out. But what about the humble van? In my opinion, they don't get enough coverage, and that's because I think a van would suit my lifestyle pretty well. I got 2 dogs, and I like going mountain biking, and I like going on long road trips. And that is why we're running this Ford Transit Custom as our latest long-term test vehicle for the next 3 months and hopefully 10,000 Ks. So make sure you hit subscribe to the Chasing Cars YouTube channel if you want to stay up to date with what's going on with this van. Chasing Cars, honest reviews of your next car. Brought to you by Budget Direct. So first up, what are we going to do with this Transit? Well, as I mentioned, we're going to have it for 3 months and try and run 10,000 Ks and then swap into its Tourneo people mover cousin. And I'll admit, I've already done a couple of thousand Ks in this thing on a long road trip from Sydney down to the Victorian High Country, and it has already impressed me quite a lot, and after that it's proven to be very popular in the Chasing Cars office. We're also going to put it up against a ute, Australia's most popular one, the Ford Ranger, to see whether or not my hypothesis of it being better than a ute is correct. And finally, we'll give you a wrap up of what we think of this car and its Tourneo cousin at the end of this. I'll give you a little rundown on the particular Transit Custom we're running. So it sits below the full-size Transit and above the Transit Connect that we don't get in Australia as the mid-size van, a rival for the likes of the Toyota Hiace, the Hyundai Staria and the LDV V70. The spec we've got is the top spec, at least until the off-road focused trail arrives, which I'm very excited for. It's the Sport dual cab, so $62,990 before on-road costs. Comes with a fair smattering of nice stuff inside, including lovely electrically adjustable driver's seat that we'll come to cover in a minute. It's got a 125 kilowatt, 390 newton meter, 2-litre turbo diesel engine, but you will be able to get this in plug-in hybrid and even electric guise later down the track. Now, it may be a mid-size van, but the Transit Custom is still pretty long at over 5.3 meters. But this second generation Transit Custom has some real goodies under the skin that should make it rather pleasant to live with, starting with the struts up front that have been repositioned in second gen form to give us more cabin space, both in the front and the middle row of seating. Plus, at the back, this is the first Transit Custom to have independent rear suspension. It's got a semi-trailing arm configuration with coil springs, so hopefully that means it should ride pretty well. And with that, I think it's probably time to give you my first impressions, one thing I do like, and one thing I'm struggling with this Ford Transit Custom. What I've come to really like already about the Transit is this sort of easy breezy nature. White van men have a bit of a bad rap, but actually, it's not an aggressive vehicle to drive. It's all very well matched. You've got fairly light, well, medium weight steering that's very accurate. You've got a well-calibrated throttle and gearbox, and you've got a brake pedal that's nice and progressive. Add that to the relatively comfortable ride quality, and you've got this car that just lopes along. It makes for a really relaxed and serene driving experience, which is not something I was expecting in a van, but it's something the Transit Custom has delivered so far in spades. I've got to be honest, it's going really well with the Transit Custom already, but there are a few niggling issues, mainly to do with usability and build quality. For one, my Apple CarPlay doesn't work seamlessly when I get into this car. It's wireless, but sometimes just doesn't want to connect and I have to resort to USB-C wired running, which is just kind of annoying. Plus, there's a couple of control oddities. For a start, turning off the auto stop-start system took me forever to figure out. You actually have to press this button here and then you get to the driver assistance menu. And finally, I find the gear stick that's on the right side here kind of annoying. It also means the left stick gets overloaded with wiper, lights, and indicators. And this right stick is just, yeah, it's easy to forget and it doesn't work intuitively, especially when you want to use manual mode where you have to rotate this little stalk to change gears. It's just not quite right. Righto, so those are our first thoughts on the Ford Transit Custom as a vehicle to live with. It's going to stay with us for another couple of months and another couple of thousand Ks, and it's already got some pretty big things lined up for it. It's going on tour with the Rubens, and then we're going to put it up into a comparison with the Ford Ranger Sport dual cab to see whether or not my theory rings true that vans are actually the better breed. You can let me know your thoughts about that in the comments section down below. And if you don't want to miss any installments, make sure you hit subscribe to the Chasing Cars YouTube channel. And as always, thank you very much for watching.